So hi and welcome to this another episode with me आशी एक और वीडियो के साथ मैं आपके सामने हूँ. So I have somebody with me. Please Chinmay, introduce yourself so that will be easier for me and also to the audience to understand that what we are going to discuss in this episode. Yeah, over to you.
Hey everyone, I'm Chinmay Gokhale, born and brought up in Mumbai. I recently graduated from IIM Bangalore about 4 or 5 days ago. And just to tell a brief about myself, I did my engineering from BITS Pilani Goa campus in 21 and went into MBA as a fresher. And yeah, here I'm out of Bangalore, and about 2 months I'll join my company.
I just wanted to understand from your end, your journey, your 2 years journey, how you will compile it from IIM Bangalore. And yeah, please share your experience. How was your journey?
Sure. So to be honest, MBA is a very mixed bag, right? It's very different from any undergraduate study that we do. There's a lot of other things to be done except for studies. You have your placements, you have to come up with resumes, you have to improve those. You have something called as case competitions, which you do to improve your skills. There are these companies that come give you problems and you have to solve those. That goes on your resume and that improves your credibility. You have an internship at the end of your first year usually, in which you have to try and score a PPO so that you don't really have to take the job pressure in the end. So it's a very mixed bag. There are a lot of different things. There's foreign exchange that comes into picture. You can go for a 3 or 4 month term abroad. So I went to Europe, I went to France for 3 months from September to December. That was a very different experience for me. So MBA gives you all these exposures, right? So if you want me to go chronologically, I joined around June, right? So it was COVID that time. So we don't really have access to the campus. So my first term was completely online from home. We went into campus in the second term somewhere around August or September. And we had to, really start prepping for our summer internships. So you do mock interviews, you do a lot of preparation for the sector that you want. There are a lot of sectors, the sales, marketing, finance, consulting, strategy, operations, general management, and so on. So you choose a couple of fields or maybe something you want, and then you focus on that. Then you get the shortlists, the companies start coming, and post that you bag an internship. That is a very major step in MBA. The first 2 terms are relatively a little difficult because you have to focus both on academics and also on settling onto the campus and parallelly the placements. Then after term 3 onwards in IIM Bangalore, it gets a little more smoother. You go through the internship. The internship is usually a little challenging because MBA internships are really different than any undergraduate internship that you might have done. So the main intention there is to obviously get a pre-placement offer so that you have a little bit of stress off. Then when you come into the second year, for some students, term 5 from September to December is going to be foreign exchange. So they have to prepare for that, going to Europe or any continent or country that you like and roaming around there, trying to understand how the culture there works. So I had the opportunity to go to France. My college was in France and I covered approximately 15 countries in 3 months. So it was a good experience for me as well. And post that, again, if you want to change your job profile, you don't want your PPO, you don't like your company, you can sit for final placements. Or unfortunately, if you don't land a PPO, you have to prepare for your final placements, which begin in February. And yeah, once you're done with that, then the whole batch is placed, and that's probably the end of MBA. So this kind of a journey that we had.
I think you have completely summarized your 2 years of journey in a very short span of time. I've been to France when you was like explaining and everything. So I think I'm done with all the questions related to your college life at IIM Bangalore. Now one more question which comes to my mind is, we are already got placed with one of the consulting firms. A lot of students, who aspire to get into MBA colleges, they wanted to work with the profile of consulting because हमने सुन रखा है कि काम work profile काफी अच्छा है, you get a lot of perks with the job and everything. But same college में अगर हम let's say बात करें तो सब students का consulting में होना भी possible नहीं है. So जो students who are able to make it into all these colleges and if they are targeting that I want to work in the field of consulting, उनको कैसे prepare करना चाहिए so that they'll able to make it to all those companies? What these companies exactly look in a candidate? So how they can prepare up themselves within those 2 years so that they'll be able to make it to those companies. Yeah.
Right. So as far as consulting is concerned, it's again kind of the way you get into IIMs, right? They see a lot of things in you. So your profile is really important when it comes to consulting. As simple as your 10th standard, 12th standard marks and graduation marks is something they see. They want to see that you've been a consistent academic performer throughout your childhood until the MBA. They also need something that is called a case interview. So in a typical consulting case interview, they'll give you a problem statement and you're supposed to break it down. You need to have a framework and you need to come to a solution. So you need to find what the problem is and then recommend solutions for the same. So for that, what people majorly practice is called case interviews. They form groups of people or find friends who are interested in the same sector, and you have a lot of these case books that are made by all B schools. Every B school will have a case book which is basically based on previous interview experiences that are written by students. You go through this case books, you understand how to break down a problem. There are different types of problem, and then you practice those. So maybe 1 or 2 months of our time is to go in practicing at least 1 or 2 cases a day, and then by the time interviews come, you are ready with those cases. At the same time, obviously you need to prepare on your resume, your internships, your job experience, and why do you really want to go into consulting. You need to have a motivation. Something as vague as because it's probably popular is something that might not work. You need to be a good problem solver. You need to really enjoy the industry. You need to enjoy and have a knowledge of different industries that operate in the world. So I guess those kind of questions more on why consulting are also really important for students to think on their own. And I guess once you do all of these, you have a strong resume, you go through the consult preparation in terms of case interviews, and you also know your resume and your own ambitions well. I guess that's what makes you ready for a consulting interview.
Okay, so I think I'm done with all my questions. I ask one last question. Any suggestion, whatever you want to give to all those aspirants who are preparing for CAT 2023?
So I would say the most important part here is to feel the journey. The journey was something for me, as I reflect 2 years back, was really important. It's very easy to get influenced by what people say, and this is right, this is wrong. But I guess CAT is more of the thing where you go wrong and then realize that this is the right way to do. So give yourself that time. That's why I said practice a lot, fail and then understand that this strategy is not working. And then finally, when you find your strategy, I guess that is going to be the best result that comes out of the exam, be it section wise or be it within a section, whatever it is. So the more effort you put into practice and into understanding what works for you, I guess the quicker you will be able to understand how the exam works and how is the best way to get into an MBA school.
So thank you so much, Chinmay, for your time. I think I'm done with my questions. And thank you so much for sharing your time and your experience. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.